Hello. So today I'm going to be talking about a journal called the Bitchin Kitsch. It is an independent publication out of Colorado, and it is full of stories and voices that should be heard. Um, I think that it's best to start with what the Bitchin Kitsch is. I will refer to the Bitchin Kitsch from here on out as the BK. Um, but the BK is based in Denver, Colorado. It's a digital and print publication um, that predominantly gets its readership from the online publication. It's headed by their editor in chief, uh, Chris Talbot Heindel, who uses they them pronouns, and the second editor, Dana Talbot Heindel, who uses he him pronouns. You can see Chris and Dana, respectively, in the top and bottom photos um, on this slide. Um, and they publish the BK quarterly. Again, the digital version is a bit more common because they just don't have a very large circulation of the print publication. Um, but the zine is full of art, poetry, prose, and from their website quote, anyone else who has something to say. Um, so you find a lot of different kinds of work in the BK, and you can find all of it on their latest issues page at talbot-heindel.com slash bitchin underscore kitsch. Um, there you'll be able to find things like the breakdown of who and what is in the quarter's issue. So in terms of the contributors for the prose, poetry, and visual art, and also right below that, you'll be able to see a PDF viewer version of the publication for whatever quarter is the most recent. As of right now, as of recording, um, it would be issue 4 from volume 11, their October issue of 2020. And you'll be able to look through all of that right there on the landing page. Or if you use issue.com, you can go there and at Chris underscore Talbot slash docs, you can find all of the different back issues of the BK from 2010 up till present day. Um, in terms of what gets published in the BK, there are lots of different kinds of work, but it's oftentimes an outlet for people who may have been overlooked by more traditional publications like poetry or Crazy Horse or something like that. The BK is really focused on inclusivity and diversity in the type of work and stories and voices that they promote and share. In Chris's own words, they don't have a style per se. I think that we focus on modern stories and own voices, but no specific style. So it pretty much the gates are open to uh, any kind of expression, so long as it is uh, a story that you can tell and that doesn't co-opt from anyone else's experience um, in a way that is disingenuous or harmful. Um, if you'd like an example, I can definitely give you one. This is a piece called Obsession by Sophia Vaselli. Sophia, as far as I could tell, has not been published in the BK before. This is the first appearance of a piece by Sophia Vaselli. I really enjoyed it whenever I was reading through this October issue. I really enjoyed reading this piece. And I encourage you to read through it, whether or not you want to pause or go and visit them on issue or on their website. I think any of those methods would be great. But so I highly recommend this piece from the latest issue. And if you're thinking about submitting, it makes sense to not only be familiar with what kind of work they publish, but also what kind of guidelines you need to be within to have a chance at getting published. Um, in terms of just straight up format, text submissions should be under 2,000 words, submitted as a Word document or text file. PDFs are a no go, and um, they ask that you must write all of your text in English. Um, and also, if you're planning on submitting, do not misgender their editor. You can refer to them as editor, the Bitchin Kitsch, the BK, or Chris. But if you refer to them as Chris, use they them pronouns, because that's the right thing to do. Um, they also accept simultaneous submissions at the BK. So if you have pieces that you're just sending out in a big packet, you're totally fine. Just make sure that if any of those pieces get accepted, you let the BK know, so that they can work with you in whatever ways they need to. Um, and if you get published in the BK and you have a piece that you want to share around some more, you retain the rights to your pieces. All that they ask is that you give an attribution of prior publication uh, in whatever subsequent places that you get accepted with that piece. And you can also republish in the BK if a piece has been accepted from another publication, um, and they allow you to submit somewhere else the same piece. The BK is totally fine with that. In terms of general guidelines, that's about it. But there are much more comprehensive guidelines that I encourage you, if you have any intention of submitting to the BK, check out the full list of requirements and guidelines down here at the bottom of the screen. There's a link to go and see the full list of requirements on their website. Uh, very, very important to read through. Um, I just want to close out kind of with a few notes from Chris themselves. Whenever I spoke to Chris, they told me about how they started the BK as an online publication in 2010 after graduating from art school, after being told that their work was quote too political, um, and that they were barred from some traditional outlets because of simply being themselves and having uh, work that was quote too non-white, non-heterosexual, non-gendered, etc. And so Chris has taken that with them in continuing to publish the BK, um, and the BK has also been very, very focused on accessibility within its online publication. There's always been an emphasis on the digital portion, Chris told me, um, but they've recently found out that issue.com does not have a very um, accessible design for use with screen readers. And so they are trying to find ways to make the BK more accessible to those who may have visual impairments by creating different avenues that individuals who may have those impairments that they can use screen readers to access the BK just the same as someone without those visual impairments. Um, so that's really awesome. I think that the way that Chris has run this publication is very, very inclusive and very, very diverse in the stories that they have shared. Um, but I want to close out with just what Chris wants you to know about the BK from them. Um, they want you to know that the BK is for everyone. Uh, and I think that that's a really great message to kind of lead with. I think that Chris has done an excellent job in fostering the type of community that is accepting of everyone, no matter who they are. Um, and that's really, really wonderful, especially in times like these. Um, and the final thing that I want to leave you with is a quote from Chris again. Everyone who has something to say has something worth reading. It might not be the right space or the right time, but that never means that the BK isn't for you or that your work isn't good enough. Um, I think that that's really important, especially as some of us who haven't ever submitted to journals before, taking that in its stride and using that as fuel to kind of keep you going as you go through the submission process. Um, I think that Chris's words there ring true for probably a lot of publications. Um, anyway, uh, that's all I've got for you. Thank you so much for being here. I want to give a big thank you to Chris for taking the time out of their schedule to sit down and talk with me. And I want to thank you for sitting down and listening to my presentation and getting to know a little bit more about the BK. I hope that you found it enjoyable, and I will see you all in the future.